Would you like to be enslaved, to have every moment controlled, and to be told when you could talk, and you had to drink with both hands on your cup so that you drank slowly? That was what Katrina von Bora lived with, Katherine von Bora. She was the daughter of Hans von Bora, who was of noble family. She was born in 1499 in Germany. Her mother passed away. And after that, her father remarried and sent her to a convent very young. She was only about 5. Now, it was not unusual for children to be sent to a convent, noble children. That was very common. But because he did not want her back, she did not have the possibility of going back home, having her father arrange a marriage for her. So she was locked in to being in the church. And in 1515, she took her vows, chastity, poverty, and obedience. And everything that she did was regulated. Her life was regulated. She had 2 meals a day. There were times she could not talk. She could not leave without permission or leave without a chaperone, because if she did, she could be executed. The world was changing. And Martin Luther, who was in the province right across the river from her, had been studying the Bible, and he saw that passage that said, the just shall live by faith. And he thought, I don't want to be subject to all of these rules that the Catholic Church is placing on me that are not biblical. And so he began to speak and write, and he got into a lot of trouble for that. On October 31st, which is coming up soon, he nailed the 95 Theses on the door of the church and wanted to debate these issues about scripture versus papal decrees, and got in a lot of trouble. But he continued writing and speaking, and his material got into Katie's convent, and she wanted her freedom. And so she arranged with other nuns to slip out of the convent, and we believe there's some stories. We believe the most likely one is that they had shipped in fish, and they slipped the nuns out in barrels that were empty, that didn't have any fish anymore, which would have been very smelly. But several of the women went back to their families. Katie later married Martin Luther and became an incredible woman, but she wanted her freedom because, of course, if you don't have to be subject to that kind of life, you shouldn't have to be. And so I think this is a great story for this week, because we are faced in our nation with an election, and we get to choose what our next 4 years are going to be like. We get to choose whether we want freedom or not. And I hope that we are going to choose freedom. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And I want to encourage you to vote for freedom, like Katrina did. She voted to be free of the monastery and later became Katie Luther, an incredible woman. But I'd like to hear what you think. Thank you.